know what? Wassa could only work. Wassa doesn't work when they have no water. The Goldilocks of water authorities. It had to be just right. I mean, just the right amount of water. And that don't happen regular. You know, and then it'll happen. Some quick housekeeping. Citizens Union members who have been affected negatively by today's weather, please reach out to Felicia Holder. You could WhatsApp her on 769-4590. You can reach out to Satish Ramsaran, and I'll give you Satish number now. Satish number is 796-8172. Or you can reach out to me, WhatsApp 682-2110. Now those are three of the highest office holders in the Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago. And the reason we ask you to reach out to us, Felicia Holder, 769-4590, Satish Ramsaran, 796-8172, or me, Philip Edward Alexander, on 682-2110. The reason we ask you to reach out to us directly is that we want to respond quickly. So we don't want it to be about a chain of command, and we don't want it to be about collecting data and moving information. We want to respond quickly. Any Citizens Union members negatively affected by the adverse weather today, please reach out to us, and we will do everything in our power to assist and help you get back to normality or normalcy. Both acceptable. One is Pidgin English. Both make the dictionary. So grammar police, write those down. Somebody just posted on Facebook, people throwing garbage in the river cause it to flood. No. Bad planning, bad management, no maintenance, a stupid water policy causes our floods all the time. We have a water policy that is move it from bayou, kick it down the road. That's what the whole box drain, slipper drain, hillside step drain, all that. That is kick it down the road. Once you kick it down the road, you add to what was down the road before. But we don't deal with that. When the PNM finished doubling Crystal Stream Highway, they didn't double the Crystal Stream River that runs alongside the Crystal Stream Highway. So when it went from Sierra Leone all the way to Wendy Fitzwilliams Boulevard in Diamond Vale, that was more than twice the length of the original Crystal Stream Highway. And all of the river that they built for that highway brought water to add to the existing Crystal Stream Highway river without deepening it, widening it, doing anything to accommodate the new water. And Peter O'Connor, environmentalist, journalist, he wrote once that during heavy spells of rainfall, because you'll get heavy spells of rainfall from time to time, nobody's expecting you to be able to manage them on a constant basis, but you have to be able to manage and mitigate them when they happen. You could plan for them. In business, private sector business, is called worst case scenario. And the numbers you crunch for worst case scenario is, does the cleanup for 3-4 a year, does that exceed the construction and maintenance cost to double it? Because if it's cheaper to just clean up after it, then wait and let it flood and then clean up. Peter O'Connor said the new Crystal Stream Highway rushing into and crossing over Sierra Leone because it wants to run under the road. But when the first Crystal Stream Highway fills, and it quickly fills, he said the rest of water coming down that river, trying to meet the original Crystal Stream River, starting by, those of you who don't know Diego Martin and you don't know where Sierra Leone is, that is where Superfarm, between Superfarm and KFC. So if you know Crystal Stream Highway, and you know where Super Farm and KFC is, KFC is the start of St. Lucian Road, and Super Farm is on Sierra Leone Road. So between them, the river comes down. That road used to stop right there. Crystal Stream used to stop right there, and used to turn right and left. Going straight across, they did not. And Peter O'Connor likened it to flushing a toilet into a teacup. And it makes the point. It makes the point. Kicking down the road politics meant that the developer who built where Massey Express is in Maraval doesn't have to care that that's the river reserve. And the developer that built the apartments and the townhouses right up on the bank of the river doesn't have to care either. We built a pretty bridge across it. Isn't this funky and French? But it doesn't take into account the volume of water being kicked down the road. It doesn't take that into account at all. And everybody needs to. It's important that you do. It's very important that you do. Our lack of planning doesn't have the capacity to account for development. Now, I'll write some things down. I'll write some things down. You see, you would be against the construction of houses until you need a house. The population of Trinidad and Tobago is about 20% of what it should be. Trinidad's population should be 5 or 10 million people. Yes, you heard that right. Trinidad's population should be between 5 and 10 million people. It's not, it's still hovering about around 1.4, between 1.4 and 1.7 if you have to account for illegal immigrants. But our country, our population should be between 5 and 10 million people. You'll talk about Singapore. Singapore, that is pretty much quarter the size of Trinidad and Tobago, has a population of about 4 million people. In fact, I don't want to miss the opportunity to be correct. So I will go to Google, yes, Neil Giuseppe, Google, and I will search Singapore population. 5.7 million. If Singapore, which is roughly a little more than a quarter the size of Trinidad, has a population of 5.7 million, then Trinidad could comfortably have a population of around 10 million people. And we should, and we could. We easily could if we had a plan for the country and the development of the country, but we don't. We never did. We just want to hold them and walk them, hold them and jam them, take advantage. We can get 60 billion out of them, that is enough to thief. 5 years at a time, 300 billion, we share between ourselves, all the murders. And that's what's passed from disgusting shit snake Eric Williams to now. Eric Williams was a pus-filled pustule of cancer that beset and befell this country. And everybody who realized that cancer was in style, that joined up with Eric to loot and pilfer what the Queen left behind, every one of them wrote into the PNM book and the UNC, which pretty much just plagiarized the PNM book. They all carry on in the same manner. Trinidad and Tobago doesn't spend money to fix water unless the people who are getting involved in fixing water could thief money. And that is why we are where we are. And that is why we are who we are. And that is why on days like today, now we are worse than goldfish. They say that goldfish have no memories. I don't know if that's true because my goldfish know me. But for argument's sake, they say that goldfish have no memories. And every time a goldfish experiences something, it's to the goldfish the first time it's experiencing it. And Trinidad is like that. Today, we have flood. So we will talk about flood today. We forget drought. So that's not today. Today is flood. We talk about flood today. And when we don't have flood no more, we'll forget about flood and we won't do anything to mitigate and protect against flood. We will let it flood, and then some will come on the thread and tell you about Murky Lagoon. Some will come on the thread and say, well, hot your ass, you got to stop rain. And some will come on the thread and say, look at rubbish in the water, it's Chinny to blame. In other words, we've never been united over issues that ultimately affect us all. Because the reason some get to come and make Murky Lagoon comments about Port of Spain today is because tongue people made those comments about people in Central and South, which is the high end of arsoness. And we really do look for what we get, because when the politicians who really don't give a shit about if you're in a lagoon or a desert, them don't care. Them just there to thief. But while you arguing with each other, you're not taking them on. The best thing to happen to Joel Martinez today is a flood. Because Joel think I will forget him and Colm the Freitas and the Oval Boys. Hey! Queen's Park Cricket Club. I hear you calling my name and I not a member. Sign me up there. Call me and say, Philco, what's that, bro? Let me take the freaking King George V Park now. Where you want that for? Them little jackass to come and kick ball whole day. We could monetize it. Where you want? You want a membership so you can come and eat lunch and pretend there's a big shot in the day? Come now, man. Come and sit down with we and bad talk people in the oval stands and pretend that we are higher cut of people. I hear all you calling my name. I want to tell you this. I just get screenshots. I just get screenshots of conversation. All you know me. My tongue like barbed wire. When I come for you and I call you out, your neighbor just call you and say, oh God, your business in the road. Call your lawyer. All you miss me with all your bullshit, eh? All you get catch. All you stop while all you're ahead. Stop while all you're ahead. The investigation not going to end. You know me. We want to know who Colm the Freitas was representing as the organization that was going to spend $20 million to get King George V Park to own and operate it for free. Yeah, that's again. What they propose to the state is that the state will provide King George V Park gratis. So you're giving them King George V Park. Yes, a lease. Yes, a rent. Yes, Grand Bazaar on a lease. Kedona was a lease. Is a lease the highway sell that Rohan Senadan sell is a lease. Lease is big thing. Or don't get tied up, you know. Don't get tied up with lease. Lease and ownership is a fine line in Trinidad and Tobago. Once that lease is for 99 years, you can forget about it. Do what you like. Do what you like. So, from what I am gathering, the deal that Joel Martinez get excited about, when Rowley say, I want to read this again, yes? Rowley good fork up Joel, boy. He knife him and spoon him too. But he fork him up good. When Rowley said, because last night on my live, I say, how you gonna do Martinez so, boy? How you gonna do Martinez so and call him a salesman and lambaste him? So, all right, I want to look for the first thing. Stand by. Replacing the natural environment at Mandela Park with artificial turf is a salesman's foolish idea that ought not to waste the time or the resources of the Port of Spain Corporation. The government is sure the corporation can put its time and money to much better use and spare us all this unnecessary aggravation. That was a slap down to Joel Martinez. Slapped him hard. But I know Joel Martinez is an insurance salesman. So I asked last night, who is the salesman? How you can embarrass Martinez so? Early this morning, Kitos Paddaos. My reference to salesman in my comment on the Port of Spain Corporation misadventure in Mandela Park is in no way a reflection on the mayor's profession, something that didn't occur to me, or professional conduct. I was referring specifically to the corporation taking seriously and possibly being led astray by the supposedly unsolicited proposal from an AstroTurf sales pitch from someone looking for a business opportunity gift-wrapped as a good idea, which should awaken and excite the corporation. Now, Kitos, partner, I tell you, I couldn't wait for tonight. I couldn't wait for tonight. Because you answered me last night. And everybody knows me answer last night. So we having a conversation, me and you, right? Kitos, partners. Let's talk. My reference to salesman in my comment on the Port of Spain Corporation misadventure in Mandela Park is in no way a reflection on the mayor's profession. No problem. Or professional conduct. First paragraph. It sounds plausible. If a paint salesman writing your releases, that sounds right. But then your second paragraph contradict your first paragraph. Let me go in. I was referring specifically, and I want to tell you something. There are two things. When you're in communications, you just listen to what people say and what they didn't say. I was referring specifically to the corporation taking seriously and possibly being led astray. So you was not, this was in no way a reflection on the mayor's professional conduct, but he's a jackass. You are telling the nation he's a jackass. He is too stupid to understand So you're telling us on the one hand, you don't mind he's a salesman, and you didn't mean to lambaste him or to impugn his professional conduct. But on the other paragraph, you said he was capable of being led astray by the supposedly, what did I stick a pin in supposedly unsolicited proposal from an AstroTurf salesman, sales pitch from someone looking. Kid, I want you to call them, wherever they operate, and tell them Philip say, if you had to start over the video 10 times tonight, we're talking about this tonight. So let me get back to the point. You say I wasn't impugning. You said my reference to salesman in my comment, and Keith Rowley, if you want to have a conversation with me, brother, call me name now. You know you want to call me name bad, eh? You know it bunning you. Bunning, like what that girl was saying, bunning. You know it bunning you. You know my name bunning you because every morning, boss, you gotta see what Philip Alex. You know it bunning you. All you have to sit down there and listen to me every night, guide and direct the population as to the shit the government doing. This is from the Prime Minister. My reference to salesman in my comment on the Port of Spain Corporation misadventure in Mandela Park. Come on. Use the Prime Minister. Them is firing words. Bring people and fire them. It's a misadventure that went on. A misadventure in Mandela Park is in no way a reflection of the mayor's profession. Something that didn't occur to me. And I want to tell you, we're going to deal with a lot of things that seem to not occur to you Kitos, partners, but we coming back. Or professional conduct. I was referring specifically to the corporation taking seriously and possibly being led astray. I could stop there. The mayor, insurance salesman extraordinaire, best of the best, not set out to be a mayor. Excellent salesman. Astray by the unsolicited proposal from an AstroTurf sales pitch from someone looking for a business opportunity, gift wrapped as a good idea, which should awaken and excite the corporation. When you read that, you didn't see Martinez without clothes. When you read that, you didn't see these doing this pitch naked. Why did Rowley use the word excite? I could see Martinez. We're taking out the grass and we're putting AstroTurf. They might be following you. This Martinez are talking. No, this is Martinez now. Because Keith Rowley said Martinez was a childish, immature, incompetent jackass who got excited, who couldn't tell that it was a business opportunity gift wrapped as a good idea. I say it again to all of you who are still here. 962, it dropped from 1,109.62. It'll build back up quickly because everybody want to sign back on. But I want to tell you that if the video cuts at all, if you don't hear me say, stay safe, Trinidad and Tobago, before the video ends, if you don't hear that, know that it will be coming back on. Stay on my page and look for when it starts back and click on it again. We're not taking that. Keith Rowley made Joel Martinez to be an incompetent jackass, and Keith Rowley needs to explain to the nation why Joel Martinez is still the mayor. If Joel Martinez is incapable of seeing an overt act designed to fool him, that instead excited him, how can you trust the mayor? How can you trust him? The mayor's job is to sit down and listen to proposals all day and to action them. I wrote this morning because I told Kendall Baggy, and I'm telling all the political parties this, I have a research team second to none. Second to none. You can't hide nothing. But you see Kendall Baggy is the best in the world. I tell Kendall this morning, he finding clippings, he finding hints. I said, brother, I want the proposal. Kendall get the whole proposal to me. Colm de Freitas. I didn't know there are two people in this country named Colm. Colm de Freitas is the person named as signatory in the Nelson Mandela. What it is about people named Colm? Colm de Freitas is the person named, and nobody gonna be naming the child Colm any time in the future. Nobody. Colm de Freitas is the person named as signatory in the Nelson, and I know Colm de Freitas vexed that he named Colin. But brother, you signed the thing with a big thank you. A big thank you. Colm de Freitas with your phone number 789-2102. Colm de Freitas at hotmail.com. Yeah, I don't think you're gonna have a problem getting that email address. Colm de Freitas is the person named as signatory in the Nelson Mandela Park proposal that blew up in the public space. I want to show you where it supposedly came from. Because I want to tell you, the first thing I asked myself last night, when Rowley jumped out, because they hear me compliment him, Vernon De Lima said, did I hear right? I know how to play this game. I know how to play this game. Get him rope. Rowley comfortable with his rope. Hang himself with it. There is no reason, none whatsoever, for Keith Rowley to have put out that release. None. Let me tell you, if it wasn't a very serious situation inside the PNM, if there wasn't a rift inside the PNM where people are fighting over King George V Park, Nelson Mandela Park, wherever they're going to name it 2 weeks from now, if there wasn't a rift and a fight going on in the PNM, this is what did I do in a meeting. Who appointed this jackass? You? Call him you? Call him and tell him that's a misadventure. Put a release. We ain't doing that again. Boy, Joel, yeah, pull the plug on that AstroTurf thing. It ain't going down good. Yeah. Yeah, the boss say put out a release, right? So let them know. And tomorrow, Loop and CNC3 and TV6 will put a nice picture here saying Martinez says, we hear you, we pull the plug. It'll come across good. You will look like a real politician. Yeah, handle that, right, good. Here's a landline. But that's not what happened. Rowley stand up, throw down his chair. Who the mukum flow? Tell him he could do that. I tell all you, my people don't have their eyes on King George V Park. What is going on with all you on this? Who tell all you not going to interfere with this? It's since 2017. I have the Ministry of Local Government and Rural whatever putting out a request for proposal to get we people inside. We people don't have this lock. How you come out with this AstroTurf bullshit? Because Gary put AstroTurf in the barracks. You want to come and play use Gary to use our next one? Use our next church, young. What is going on? How you end up in anything to do with calling any shots like this? And who tell you could spend $20 million? That what happened. Boss, I go handle it. No, I'll leave it for it to freaking handle already and I'll make a mess. I handling it now. About the release. About the own release. And his release was bite up. And how you know it bite up? We get it in black with white letters. The man begs. This is the third draft. The first draft start this murder ass. The second draft say this nincompoop. Boss, leave out the description. Replacing the natural environment at Mandela Park with artificial turf is a salesman's foolish idea that ought not to waste the time or the resources of the Port of Spain Corporation. Joel Martinez is a bench warmer. He does not have the authority to make any decision on any state property of any kind without cabinet approval, worse, without cabal approval within and around me, Keith Rowley, Chief Cook, Papa Doc. And he can't spend $20 million unless we tell him we're spending $20 million through him. So he needs to shut up. So how do I tell him to shut up? The government is sure the corporation can put its time and money, this is a warning, to much better use and spare us all this unnecessary aggravation. How's a shot across the bow? Martinez, don't put God out your thoughts again. Don't put out a release of any kind without checking with me first. But you see, he have other salesmen. He have a paint salesman at his beck and call. Have nothing else to do with his life but be there and make sure the PNM song like they know what they're doing. Take all kind of hits. When Rowley sent him to tell people only TTT covering shit from now on, he said, hey, the man say only TTT covering shit. And when the public push back, he went and said, oh God, I was joking. His job, that's cheap home material. His job is to take wood and take kick and smile for both. So he would have gladly put that out. Kitos, Padnaos, you call me? Sayo, right up for me there. But he didn't call his Minister of Communication. Should be fired. If you're putting out a public release on an issue that's serious to you and you didn't use your Minister of Communication, fire him. He is drawing a salary under false pretenses. But the mayor of Port of Spain answers to the mayor of local government, who was the person that called the shot, who was supposed to say, we have reconsidered and we have made whatever. But you didn't. The Minister of Local Government is drawing money under false pretenses. He cannot manage his mayors. He cannot manage regional corporations. Fire Kazim. Is Kazim Hussain his name? Stunting ass. Fire him. But it is the Minister of Finance, Colm Imber, to okay the $20 million. Nobody else could find money in budget and say, spend that on grass and shit. It's Colm. And if you didn't let the Minister of Finance, who some say Martinez's best friend, if you didn't call Colm and say, Colm as Minister of Finance, and we find more judicious use of the money, fire freaking Colm. Fire Colm. Where was Shamfa? You going and build sports stadium. You go and build sports stadium and you don't have the Minister of Sports in the conversation. That's like saying you're calling a state of emergency and not having the Minister of Nationality. All right. You did that. I told Trinidad, the Prime Minister himself believed his entire cabinet is shittongs. The Prime Minister, not me. My job is to read you. My job is to read your actions. My job is to hear the words you say and the words you don't say. And if you didn't call your Minister of Finance, your Minister of Sports, your Minister of Communication, your Minister of Local Government to deal with Joel Martinez misadventure, fire all. Because if you don't fire them, you've told me. You've told me and any other critical thinker outside there that you think that all of them are shittongs, bench warmers, masquerading as ministers, drawing a salary, a fat salary, just to keep you as Prime Minister. You tell us that pain by your words and your actions here, Keith Rowley. But it doesn't have to matter. Half of Trinidad could have drowned today. As long as PNM in power. If UNC was in power, Kamala and her whole crew had to be outside there. Everybody. Because the same people who vote for the PNM, and this is the message I am sending to the UNC followers again. Because you will have office again. You will. And when you have office again, this time, ignore the PNM supporters. You see all them Rhoda Barrett and them, let them beat up like fish on a jetty. Beat it, oh God, my belly, my devil string, my eyelids. No problem. Beat up. They don't have much energy and they can't sustain. But Kamala used to feel like she wasn't really the Prime Minister. She knew it was a lot of machinations it took to get her there. So when people cuss, run and fire people. Run and fire people. Fire people all around you. The media. Boy, to ask with them, if your job is to defend the PNM, if you know, it's like when I told people, that whole email gate thing, somebody tell me, I can't prove it, but it was a national security sweep that was sweeping the government and reporting to the opposition. That is treason. Nobody want to investigate email gate and where Rowley get our info from, you know. They concoct that in a kitchen. They sit down in a kitchen and take a sweep. That's what was told to me. It could be bullshit. Not everything people tell me come true. But somebody said that the listening apparatus of the state was listening on the government then and reporting to the opposition and the actions that Keith Rowley took. For Emailgate made me not doubt that at all. These people will try anything, will do anything. That's where we are. That's where we are. And it pissing them off no end that you all so awoke all of a sudden. That you're all getting pissed about things like TTT while you're caring. All you're vexed about AstroTurf and bold with it. Worrying them. They're worried. You see, they're weak. They're weak. When the PNM fighting for government, it's strong. When it's in government, it's weak. And the only reason Keith Rowley still in government is they have some greedy people advising Kamala that kept Kamala from meeting and working with. You see, the PNM know they have one thing to do to hold power, and that is to divide the rest of us. Once we divided, we all get some votes. Collectively, we're stronger than them. It is why when the NAR was formed and when the People's Partnership was formed, both times the PNM was annihilated. Annihilated. Gary Griffith's wife, Nicole Dyer Griffith, nearly wiped the floor with Amory Brown. Rocky Garcia, Anil Roberts with hair, nearly beat Rowley in Diego Martin West. You see, when everybody come together, PNM in trouble. PNM can't win. It's the same cult, and they know that the size of the cult can't grow. Can't grow. And you had to take plenty work to get the whole cult to come out. And what has happened when the whole country voting against PNM? Members of the cult, the stray, members of the cult, I want that because you see, the members of the cult is built on bandwagonism. The cult is built on what in fashion now. That's why the PNM could call them out with a Zessa album. That's why. It's fashionable, we dancing it, we singing it, we like it. I write my name with a PNM, a golden pen, all kind of shit. You could chain them up. The problem is, you teach them how to take chain up. So if the other side chain everybody up, them coming along for the chain, and you could get lost. The PNM were almost politically annihilated twice. The next time everybody come together, the first mission must be to destroy politically, forever and all eternity, the People's National Movement. It mustn't win a seat. And if it win a seat, isolate it and starve it there, like they do. That's what the PNM does. And then they're good at using a corrupt media and smear your name. So if you stand up and talk for yourself, they're barking dogs. What Anne-Marie Dulal succinctly said, PNM good at bringing the noise. I better than their whole party at bringing the noise. I have the biggest following of any politician in the Caribbean right now. My narrative, my posts, my live videos get more people watching than TV6 and CNC3 combined. I bring the noise better. So when we stand for an issue, you see this frightening them because it's not a political party and it's growing massively. Every single day people, yeah, you enjoying it? We inside, we can fix up, we handle, we good to go. This Citizens Union, stronger together. Because they know it's natural for black people to like me. I'm more black than Rowley. I just talk more like a black man than Rowley ever could. I know how to deal. Rowley's job is to let Fitzgerald Hines tell people, look, he black like you. But people starting to realize black like you don't mean the same thing. It don't mean the same thing at all. Because again, the throat cut. What is about the tree and the axe? The trees vote for the axe because the handle looked like it was made of wood. And it was cutting them down. And the PNM fighting the fact that black people like me. When you see my TikTok videos crossing 1 million views, check who sharing mine. Check who want this, all of this. Any single time that I ramped up, Terrence, your mommy, who you think shared that? Who you think shared that 1 million times? You think it was Kamla and crew? Kamla and them fighting me because my reputation are too big. They say not too big outside there. How you gonna control him? You don't control me. I'm not a dog. The job is that we work together, get rid of the PNM and fix the country. That's what they want. Or they're saying that's what they want, then we do it. Because we're not making no bones about it. We will work with anybody who say that is what they want. We're just not coming along for the bullshit ride. And we will make a deal with you. You hold the grenade, no problem. We holding the pen. So at any point in time, but I don't want to get sidetracked. The Rowley find himself in a Tobago zest, dancing to me. And he didn't realize it was my voice, because when it come on, when they hear the 2 seconds of silence and they hear living in your house, trying to raise your family in a law-abiding manner, 9 o'clock in the morning, gunman in your hole, gunman. When they hear that, watch now, for a while, that was the big, you didn't have to play the rest of the song. Calypsonians call me, Iowa George call me. You know much thing? You know much thing I do 9 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the evening? You know much people I make dub plate for and all kind of thing? I was hot. I was current. We walked down the avenue, me, Felicia, and Satish, and we get mob. We get mob. We went in a bar. Johnny Q have a bar, pub house or something. And the DJ see me and he said, oh God, look, 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 look. And it was nearly 9 o'clock. They put the microphone in my hand. And Satish and Felicia didn't know because I went to pee. And if you ever went pub house on Arpita Avenue, you're going to pee, the toilet on the left, the DJ on the right. And he hold me. He said, right? And a minute to 9, boy. He said, stand by. And boom. Silence on the avenue. You know when people who are accustomed to being in an environment of noise, the noise go away. Whatever it is they're doing is die down to. They stop. And then they hear, sitting in pub house. Boy, it explode. It explode. And that's the kind of thing that we have. We have. But look at he. There's one to say, but they don't know what to call me. They was calling me half a 1%. All I mean, they just send the talking heads to do me all kind of thing. Con man, thief man, all kind of thing they say about me, you know. And boy, and it's so growing with my people. I tell you, my mother used to get enough kicks. We go price smart, and this fella, this is the size I am. The man whole front teeth like Whitey Lemons is only gold. And he come up and say, hey! And he stand up between me and my mother and take a selfie. I don't know where that picture gone, but I know that she would love to see it because she in that selfie too. And they don't like that. PNM don't like that. PNM don't like that they can't control. And they want to tell them, we is the black party. Faris is the blackest man in town. Look at how black Stuart Young is. You seen him? Look at Rohan, the man. Rohan is a direct descendant of Shaka Zulu. Look, you're not seeing? So they stopped taking people like Fitzgerald Hines serious. Now, I don't want to use the term because people not liking it anymore. But there is a way to describe people who not for the people that they say they're for. But they know I for them. And I could walk places in this country that Tobagonian Kid Rowley can't walk. He could walk places in Tobago I can't walk. I think. Maybe. And I could be wrong. I might be more welcome in Mason Hall than he is. Kid Rowley being tolerated right now. He's destroyed this country. He can blame other people all he wants. He can blame Kamala, he can blame Colin, he can blame the moon, he can blame the stars. At the end of the day, 6 years now, you've been calling the shots. And when you went to sign your name with that golden pen, you said the buck stops with me. And brother, so true. Every decision made. The media so corrupt that they heard you say in Tobago and contradict yourself so much. I was expecting one of those special effects from a sci-fi movie that you would just and morph into two Rowleys. Because the two things you said that you're trying to say at the same time, contradicting. You standing up and telling people a justification of how we're going to use the 600,000 Sinopharm vaccines we have. And you're counting down all the people, the children who can't get it. What? Satish, you're recording this, right? Right. Click, yeah, landline. Then the man say, 200,000 people in this country already get COVID and didn't know. Get over it without knowing and have natural immunity. What the hell is this? Do you understand better that what you're saying with this mouth contradicting what this mouth trying to say? Do you understand that? That you're trying to tell people to go out and get a vaccine, but you're telling them they're already immune? Making sense? But the media left it alone. Because some of them living in house in One Woodbrook Place, and some of them living in house in Cascade River. gardens, and some of them driving car that they're not paying the mortgage for. And some of them have contract to supply HTC with Windows, and some of them still don't know what to do with the $500,000 that they get from Joe Newell Williams and Patrick Manning as a scholarship, because there's media. Like up yourself. Cuss the Indian High Commission and tell them how to go your own way with your nasty vaccines. No problem, PNM in power. Like up yourself, but I want to tell the UNC, whether I dare or not, if you ever get into power again, let them beat. Just stand up and watch. This time, let them beat up the media following the by media following. Every now and then they can find an issue that will sound like a baby seal squealing. People will stop and pay attention. Watching the news, and I dare you, hear me, Kamal Eaton Georges, dye your hair green for tomorrow news, and let's see how long it takes for the population to know that your hair green, and then I'll shave my head bald, and let's see how long it takes for that to make the news. More people wait for 9. More, we lose about 150 people every time. But know that I will be here or I will come back, so don't go nowhere. More people wait, and I have to try and remember what I said while I waited. I was going to take a picture of trying to reconnect to show you all what I see on my side while I waited. And I counting the minutes, and what they say in Parliament, injury time. I'm giving you your injury time, I ain't going nowhere. More people wait for 9 o'clock in the evening to hear Philip Edward, no matter how tired I am. Look, I do a video this evening, 6 o'clock, walking in the mud. Walking in the mud. And you know them bold-faced bitches on the thread saying, I like in this video, but I hope you're doing your video tonight. That's what they're telling me. This belongs to them. My job is to show up and rant. A man say nobody voting for anybody who telling people to take thing and push it up their ass. And somebody say, brother, if people had tell Eric Williams to take his whole Balize house and push it up his ass 58 years ago, the country would be a lot better off today. So miss me with your bullshit. You know what was the #1 selling jersey that we ever put out as the Progressive Empowerment Party? Ask Lima McLeod Wilkinson. She was in charge of merchandise, and she'll tell you that miss me with that bullshit was #1. And she had printed some that said, miss me with that bullshit. But where the I was between SH and T, she took out the I and put an asterisk. And church people was telling her, what are you doing, man? What are you doing, man? I want my shirt. I wanted to say what it say. Miss me with that bullshit. Black Trinidad and Tobago, I am saying to you tonight, black, Afro, I don't know, listen, I don't know how else to say this. Give me the opportunity to fight for you. Don't take on the ones who getting 3 and 4 CPEP contract to lie to you. They had a term for them in slavery days. But I want to say to you, trust me. Trust me, I've been doing this for a long time. Nobody has helped more people of color out of problems and conditions. I have helped more homeless, more disabled, more orphans. I have grown up a generation of orphans that I help, that I clothe and feed and help. Nobody has done more. Somebody told me today, you shouldn't say that, don't let the left hand see what the right hand do. That's bullshit. People need to know who you're voting for, what your track record is. We have more than 50% of the people of this country dirt poor right now and don't know who to turn to and shame to say. I want all 500,000 people to raise their hand and say, brother, we don't like this, help we get out of this. A man say, you're calling it as you told you could fix it. Of course we could fix it. Job, what is jobs? Job one is jobs. I have met with ambassadors from around the world and I've had lunch with them and we've chatted about how excited they all are to one day do business with Trinidad and Tobago again. The Barbados light bulb factory that we buy our LED bulbs from, why we don't have a light bulb factory here? If you knew that LED bulbs was going and save current and save money and protect your deck, why in heaven's name we didn't set up a light bulb factory here? It is literally warehouse space, and we have warehouse space knocking dog all around the country. It is basically warehouse space, machinery, manpower if it's not automated, and material. You had a captive market. You was going and give away 6 million bulb. All we need is people with love of country, love of people, love of people. I don't carry myself like I bigger than anybody. I just dress normal. Anytime you see me, I'm in a polo shirt or a t-shirt or a hoodie. And it's not that I'm trying to impress you. I love how I look in a suit. I look real sexy. I see me in a suit and I say, this gonna cause problems. I'm gonna need security. So I know. But I like to know because I grew up, we grew up, I don't want to say rough, but we grew up in hard times. We grew up in poverty. Yeah. I could tell you stories about things that other people used to talk about in school that I used to hear them talk about, and I used to wonder what was wrong with my family, why we didn't have those things. And my father and my mother did their best. They did their absolute best. And I will never regret a minute of my childhood because it made me the man I am today. And I could turn around and bless my parents, and me and my sisters and my brother. We do that. We bless them, we take care of them, and we treat them like royalty because they did the best that they could for us. But I like the fact that I grew up in a cosmopolitan, I grew up in a you couldn't have no pretenses. You didn't have any pretenses to pretend. And I think that black Trinbagonians have been treated like shit for too long. And I'm saying that cognizant of the fact that the same political party that treated black Trinbagonians like shit for too long also treated Indo-Trinbagonians like shit. In fact, they treated the entire country like shit. The only people that seem to matter to them is people who are willing to get in bed with them and thief with them. But I would like there to be no more poverty in this country. Trinidad is too rich, too blessed. Trinidad is too blessed. I want to tell you this. They have industries that we could get into and quickly run out of manpower. We are going to have to, when we talk to you about the kind of industries we want to get into, we have to open the doors and bring in some immigrants. We have to add people to the population to make the kind of money we want to make, to put this country on the map where it needs to be. Trinidad's supposed to be a global powerhouse. We have the capacity. We have the natural ability, the tendencies. We're driven to succeed and kept back by criminals masquerading as people who care. And I want to say this again. Black Trinidad and Tobago, you deserve so much better. You deserve so much. This country need a healing. It need a healing. But Cocorita and Harding Place need a real healing, boy. You gotta come and see what these people, and you know, there's still such nice, good, decent people for what they've put up with. Waterhole Cocorit had in place deserve a healing, boy. Rich Plain, Factory Road. Go see Factory Road. Go see Lansmita and Carnage. Deserve a healing. It deserves people to come in there and say, we know, we understand, we're sorry. Let's work together to lift like a rising tide, lift all boats. Let's get all of us. Let's get all of us to a place where we matter. And tell you something. We had proposed that there be zero property tax on your primary residence. Zero. This country is too wealthy to tax people's properties. Your primary property should have zero property tax. Now, one of the businesses I do is property development. So for me to propose this should tell you how seriously I take this country. Your second, third, fourth, fifth properties should escalate in a tax contribution. And that will serve to move all of the money that's hiding in real estate in this country and free it up for investment. Now, there are people who are in the business of hiding money, and they don't want to hear that from government. But the average person's primary dwelling, to come and tax that, is a criminal act. Because you weren't there. You were not there when those people were sacrificing, when the children was not getting what they wanted for Christmas because mommy and daddy was working to buy that house. You wasn't there for that. You can't come now and take a share of that wealth. Miss me with your bullshit. You nasty, sniveling, disgusting. Listen, that is corruption. You are corrupting the nation under the pretense of doing it for the nation. You don't need more tax money. This jackass Joel Martinez saying, let we get we property tax so we can spend more money on what? On more AstroTurf? Bullshit. Bullshit. You don't need more tax, you need less. You don't need to be making decisions for nobody. In fact, the less you could do right now is better for everybody in this country. Because you look like you get too excited too quick. Put back on all your clothes, Joel, and sit your ass down. As the Prime Minister say, a salesman come in your office and overexcite you and you nearly spend $20 million on shit. That's what the Prime Minister say. Joel Martinez, if you had an ounce of decency, an ounce of self-respect, an ounce of integrity, you'd have tell the Prime Minister, take this job and shove it. How you could call me a juvenile, incompetent ass. How you could say that I am so stupid, so dotish, that a salesman. You didn't say the company owner. You didn't say anything of substance. You say a salesman. You make it look low. You make it look like and you denigrate every single salesman in the country because you say the mayor's so stupid. A salesman excite him and he nearly spent $20 million on shit. All of them should take a turn in your ass. But the mayor, Joel Martinez, but he's a fella you could see. He's sniveling. He's not the kind of person that will stand up for things like self-respect and integrity. Not when you're in the PNM. You have to throw that out by the door. To go into Balize house and swear fealty to that organization, to that cult, you have to leave self-respect in the road. You have to lie with a straight face and pretend that it's normal. You had to cuss the memory of your mother and your father and everything they ever tried to teach you. Because they have nothing good about what is going on in this country. Nothing. And today, we know that 200,000 people got COVID-19, got over it, and have natural immunity. And nobody is doing antibody tests on them to make sure that people who do not need vaccinations do not receive vaccinations, because that is important. But we're not having that conversation because they're scared of those conversations. And it is time the people are woke. You know, when they're woke, you're calling it vaccine hesitancy. No, partner. That is when 1 million people say, take it, shove it up your ass. We're not interested. We're not. We don't care what you say. We don't believe a word you say. You've been lying for so long. And you catch we. You catch we, and we didn't have options. Trinidadians so skittish. When they vote, they don't know what to do again. And I say, I hear you, and I'm still here. are still here. We still fighting. We still working, finding ways around it. We still creating. Look what we create, the Citizens Union. The Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago that is giving businesses hope because it's organized a consumer group of tens of thousands of people and sending them by you. Once you sign up as a business affiliate, your business fixed, literally. And as a member of the Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago, not only do you have those types of advantages as a member, you have people to turn to when the system don't make sense. When the boss tell you have to get vaccine or you're lost the work, you call us, you say, listen, I call in the Citizens Union. I'm going to find out if what you're saying is true because I'm a member. Look my card. So we could call the boss and say, listen, Deborah Thomas Felix in the industrial court said, you can't do what you're trying to do. So if you do it, we'll support that employee when they sue you. You sure you want to go down this road? And that's the power of people power. And don't let nobody fool you. That jump out, they jump out. The pushback they get so severe. People from it was like when we had got together over Calder Heart when he wanted to take President's Grounds and make it into a parking lot for Manning's La Fantasy for he and the Dwen to frolic around the fireside at night. I remember when that was Manning's plan, when they wanted to throw down Victoria House, the museum, throw it down and make a parking lot for Napa. That used to be the tennis courts that train our people could go and play tennis for free. But the people in the proposal call them the freighters and them say, people don't pay a fee to use the tennis courts. But it's time and they quick to quote, small people, poor people, urban people, the people left behind, they need some help. They don't need you to come and help them, partner. They don't need your AstroTurf for them. I want to tell you what you could do with your AstroTurf. I want to tell you and all your boys in the Oval where you could do with your AstroTurf. Call my name. Let me get a screenshot. I want to call yours. So far, I only have column name. And it's 2 columns in the country. Both of them. Both of them. Calling my name in your cricket club. Big grown-ass men. Come outside to drink every evening and talk shit. Go man, raise your family now, man. Calling it successful. So Jimmy and Johnny could get together when William dead and shed a tear. Oh. Trinidad and Tobago. The Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago is the biggest growing organization, people representing organization in the country. We want to eclipse the political parties. We want to eclipse the trade unions. We want to become the largest group of Trinbagonians of any race, color, creed, or class, all together, one group of people working together to protect each other and to promote each other financially, economically, to safeguard each other. So the person who asked me if we know how to fix the economy, look, we've proven the concept and we're not even in government. We are creating a jobs program within the Citizens Union for all the people who don't have jobs to list their qualifications so we can make the database available to all our business affiliates. So when they're looking to hire people, they're hiring Citizens Union members. They're calling them based on their card number. So they know that there's people that are known by us. So they're comfortable with that. First come, first served. We're creating a Craigslist of professionals, hairdressers, mechanics, spa technicians, electricians, plumbers. Once as a trade, you're working with your hands, technicians. Once as a trade and you're working with your hands, we putting you on that list. And it's a list so that people who use your services could give you stars. So other people rate you. So other people who looking for an electrician will pull up the list in their community and look for the people with the most stars, because the people with the most stars are people who would have done work in other people's houses, giving them good service and good prices, and they recommend them. That's what we're doing. We're also creating a cooperative buying society for buying food in bulk. And when we say buying food in bulk, you don't have to buy in bulk. You get a 1 box of soap and 12 soap in a pack or whatever. But you get 2 boxes of cornflakes and a normal for our house, but we buying it in bulk collectively. so that you could save 50, 60, 70% on your grocery bill. All of these things, the Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago do it. And that card will get you all of those benefits. We are negotiating with tire companies, with car companies, insurance companies. We already have medical institutions on board. We're looking for dentists right now. Any dentist throughout the country who hearing my voice tonight or hear this on repeat, if you would like to offer benefits to Citizens Union members and be listed for our members, please contact Felicia Holler, 769-4590. Any business, car rental, car leasing, come on board. And people asking me, boss, all I just do is make some sweet bread and thing to sell from home. You could be a business affiliate. We will tell people as you bake and it come out the oven, it's too hot to go in the bag, you go sweat, you already have orders. You could be anything. You could be a seamstress. You could be a tailor. You could be doing anything at all that is a business, a goods, or a service that you offer. You could be an affiliate of the Citizens Union. Join tonight. Call Felicia Holler, 769-4590. If you are not yet a member of the Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago, citizensuniontt.org, citizensuniontt.com. Join. We are opening a new business. We're just waiting on a document right now. And I'm excited to tell you it's ready to run. And the moment you hear that it open, you wouldn't believe the concept, how beautiful. Yeah? And that's ready to go right now. We don't have t-shirts printed. I have a t-shirt ready to wear on the night to tell you it's opening tomorrow. Stand by. It's going to be real exciting. And it's ready. We're waiting on our document from a government office. So I can't say it until we have it, a band. But you can still join the organization because every business that we open, Citizens Union card holding members get discounts and get deals. That will always be the meaning behind membership has advantages. So join the Citizens Union tonight. Join it. All your friends and family, sign them up. Get everybody on board so that you know you're protecting everybody around you. That's the way forward. Yeah? So, I think that's it for me tonight. You got your injury time. We spoke about Citizens Union again. I want to add this before I close. Any Citizens Union members who were adversely affected by the weather, the flooding, and all our drama today, if you were one of those people, you could contact Satish Ramsaran, 796-8172, Felicia Holler, 769-4590, or myself, Philip Edward Alexander, 682-2110. You could reach out and we will be there to do whatever we can. Yeah? I want to create a direct feedback for the show. And I know that a lot of y'all like to have your voices heard as well. And if you would like to be on the show, there's this thing that I could invite people on and you could be on video and audio. I want to do that like once a week. And if you would like to be on and you want to talk about a certain issue, you get a couple minutes and you could come on. Just let me know what it is, because we can't have people talking shit. That's my job. Anybody else come in and have to talk real sense. Yeah? So I think that's it. What about security for Citizens Union members? I don't know what that means, but you could WhatsApp me and give me some more details. Anybody else have anything else to add? Let me check and make sure that, because some nights has close off, and then let's have WhatsApps. You could WhatsApp me right now, 682-2110, and tell me anything you want to add. My whole WhatsApp. Oh yes. I shared this tonight. I will read it out to you. Commissioner of Police, TTPS flexible during cleanup operations tonight. Commissioner of Police Gary Griffith says officers of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service would be flexible in allowing persons affected by today's flooding to be out tonight to assist in cleanup operations. The Commissioner says that because of the excess flooding, there may be many persons on the road without curfew passes. These would include workers at the Port of Spain City Corporation who would be assisting with moving debris strewn across the roadway. Employees at the Ministry of Works and Transport, as well as family members helping relatives who have been affected, are also expected to be out tonight. point. Commissioner Griffith says that such persons should call the Operation Command Center at these numbers listed here to inform officers that they would be out in public after the 9 p.m. curfew. The Commissioner says his officers would be flexible as well as be vigilant. The flooded, affected areas such as Maraval, St. Anne's, St. James, Diego Martin, Belmont, and East Port of Spain. The numbers are 612-3876, 684-5730, 684-5035, 684-5076, 684-5233. Yeah. If you're not fed up of how bad this country is run, you're a glutton for punishment. There's nothing else I could say. I don't want to tell people they deserve what they get. That's not a nice thing to say. Some people just confused and they make bad choices. Our job has to be to get into government and to fix it for everybody so that people understand what leadership and what real representation is. And that had to be the mission. Has to be the mission. There's a call out for the people who are interested in being part of my personal team. We are building a team, my team, because we are a fast response part of the organization, and we need to be flexible and we need to be quick, and we need to have our own team that doesn't draw on the resources of the main Citizens Union organization. So I'm actually building out my own team, and if you're interested in being a part of that team, whatever service you think that you could bring, and it could be anything, and it is all volunteer, and it's whatever capacity you think that you could support us getting this message out and responding to the public. If you want to be a part of my personal team, you can message Satish Ramsaran and he will fix you right. Yeah, time for Earl Grey tea in truth. I need a jersey. Again, message Felicia Holder, 7694590. Hadassah Charles McLeod on the thread. You could talk to her. Yeah. I think I am sleepy. I'm sure the rest of you are. Today was a long day. Today felt like 3 days. So you got your injury time. I was here at exactly 9:01. It's 10:13. So I think that we pretty much good to go. Those of you who want Citizens Union merchandise, apparel, you could reach out to Lima, you could reach out to Felicia, you could reach out to Hadassah any of the time. I have posted before a cooperative for small businesses or even store employees, just as what I was involved with here for caregivers and domestic workers. Absolutely. We literally, somebody had written something about the farmers. I'm trying to find that. Somebody had written me something about the farmers. Water everywhere but in your taps. And I would like to mention it because there are people in this country that I really care about. And you see, farmers, school teachers, law enforcement personnel, nurses. Before there was a COVID-19, for people to realize how important those people were, I was speaking for them and to them for years. And look how it come and it made itself self-evident. In fact, a lot of the things that we've been saying a long time now turn out to be the only thing that you could have relied on at the height of this pandemic. Trinidad need fixing. That is without doubt. You had to be deliberately obtuse to look at this country and see it for what it is and not admit that it needs fixing. So let's fix it now. Let's fix it. Find your friends in other things. Find your friends in other endeavors. Politicians is not your friends. They don't care about you. They will skin up their face for you and make you feel they're smiling. They have a whole saying in China, not every skin teeth is a smile. They're laughing with you and at you. Don't get caught up in that. It's time to fix it. It's time to fix it. Look around your community. Look around your community. Ignore the people who die hard. Let them keep dying hard. But look around your community and ask yourself if this is the best we should supposed to be. Ask yourself if we don't deserve better. And if you got a yes, join the Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago. Until tomorrow.